kids, welcome back to Kids Camp. We're here with another time with critters and God's creation, and I'm Keith Nelson from Camp Kalakwa, where we have a lot of neat animals in our wildlife sanctuary, and we've brought some of them here for you to enjoy. Now, sometimes people can get afraid of animals. Some animals are cute and cuddly and you like to hold them. Others can be frightening, and some just instill fear by their very nature of the type of animal they are. So if ever I bring out an animal that you're not comfortable with, you can just fold your arms like this. And that means, Mr. Keith, keep it away from me, but we'll be fine. You don't have to freak out or anything like that. Just fold your arms. Now, there are some animals that even we animal lovers are afraid of. I mean, we all like animals, but some animals, I know, like spiders, I'm kind of afraid of a spider, especially if I see it and then I don't. Or a venomous snake, snakes with fangs and poison sacs, or venom sacs that is, that can hurt me really bad. Those kind of, I leave them alone. But there is a really pretty snake that's also venomous that lives in the southeastern United States. Places like Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama. And that is, what snake do you think that is, Jackson? Let's see if he knows.
A coral snake?
Well, now that's a beautiful snake that does live in the southeast. That's a good guess. This one starts with a C. Do you know it?
It's the snake's name, because I don't know the name, but it's the snake's name.
Copperhead. That's the snake's name is a copperhead snake. And Caden, sorry I missed you. We'll get you right here pretty soon. And the copperhead snake is dangerous. And it has orange and reddish and yellow colorations on its back. And it lives underneath logs or behind stones, and it hides out well in the southeast. But there's another snake that's red and yellow and blotchy looking that is not venomous, that is actually harmless to us, but he looks like the copperhead. And it's a case of mistaken identity, and when that happens, sometimes that snake gets harmed when it didn't need to. So the lesson there is leave them alone, especially if you don't know what it is. But I brought one with me that is the copy or the mimic. It's called Batesian mimicry, named after Bates, the gentleman that named this mimicry that God designed. And this mimicry looks like a copperhead. And he can hide right in plain sight, right under a stone or right under a log, and they don't get real big, maybe 4 or 5 feet long. And this is just a baby. Now this snake is afraid of light, so when I removed the rock from over him, he's nervous and he's watching, and he'd rather be underneath the rock. And maybe if I put the rock there for him, he'd go under it, maybe not. Sometimes they follow the shadows, just like some bugs don't like the light and they run away from it. So let's see if we can meet him here, and we'll just be nice and gentle with him and let him know we're coming to visit him. And we'll let you pet him, Mr. Jackson. You had a question? Why don't you come up here, Mr. Jackson, and stand with me and face that way? And you're not going to drop him, are you? Okay, so don't let him go. You actually have to hold him because he's pretty quick and slick. Now, Mr. Jackson, can you tell us what he feels like?
He feels very wet.
Does he feel wet? Are you sure it's not just cold?
He feels slimy. Hey, you want to smell my shirt?
Is he slimy at all?
He's fast. Ooh.
He's fast. So you think he's wet and slimy, do you, Jackson? Yeah. Well, I think I want a second opinion. Let's find someone else like Mr. Yeah, Caden, come on up. I missed you last time. Caden, would you mind holding him? No. Okay, face this way right here and smile for the camera and tell me, do you think he is slimy, Mr. Caden?
When he moves, he's a little slick.
He's slick, he's quick, but he's not wet or slimy, is he? Does he feel kind of dry? Thank you, Mr. Caden. You did a great job, you and Jackson, holding my snake. Thank you. Now, we don't have time for everybody to hold, but you will get to pet. How's that? I'll bring him right by. Just be patient. Well, let's see. The corn snake, where did he get his name? I'll tell you. He does not eat corn, Some people think they got his name because he looks like he has corn patterns on his back, like corn kernels. But the truth is, he got his name because when people stored grain or corn in the South, they would find these guys hiding in and around the bags of corn. Were they after the corn? No. What do you think eats corn that these guys were after, Miss Kylie?
They were in there because it was dark.
Dark and hiding, okay. And Mr. Jackson might know?
Mice.
That's correct. Mice and rodents love corn, and they were coming to get a free snack. And this guy would make a snack of them, especially if he's bigger. Now, underneath these snakes is a checkerboard. Do you see the checkerboard on the bottom? And the checkerboard means I am a corn snake, not a dangerous copperhead. That has a different appearance on the bottom. This is checkerboard. So as we let you touch and pet, we'll go around here. Don't pet the head, okay? Just pet the back or the body. I'll tell you all about him. We'll start with the back row, Mr. Jackson. And so, no, we won't do that. Very good. And so this guy lives in dark places, like I said, because he's more active at night. And he becomes a hunter in the night. And what he does is if he eats, oh, you can keep your seats. I'll bring him by. Very good job. You guys are being nice to my friend. That's nice. Okay, keep your seats and be patient. I'll bring him right by. So this beautiful, is he pretty?
Yes.
Maisie, can I ask you some questions?
Yeah.
What colors do you see?
Red, orange, white,
Okay.
black,
And what color are his eyes?
brown.
Yeah, so he's got pretty brown eyes and they're round pupils, just like the eyes in some of your brown pupiled eyes. You had a question, Miss Faith? Okay.
I know. Well, it's not really a question, but I know of another really pretty snake called a rainbow snake.
The rainbow snake is beautiful. Docker, did you have a question?
It's not really a question, but sometimes if they get larger, sometimes they like it whenever you play chess on their stomach.
Is that it? All right, did you have a question, Sophia?
What's the name of this snake?
He doesn't have a name yet, and it's a little boy snake. Maybe you can help me come up with a name for it. What's a good name?
Xavier.
Xavier. All right, we'll keep that in mind. You like checkers. Hold on. So this little guy has another knack that he can do. He can take and he can unhinge his jaw and swallow things bigger than he is. And then when he gets bigger himself, he can shed his entire skin right off of his body, including right off of his eyes. And the covering over his eyes that he sheds are called spectacles on a snake. Isn't that funny? Yes, you had a question?
It's called molting.
That's right. He sheds right off his skin. And this guy actually has the ability to become a new snake, a bigger and prettier one. Yes, Miss Madison.
Can he see?
He can see very well. Now, that's a good question. Miss Madison wants to know if he can see. They see well, but when they're young, they rely on their sense of smell that is really keen, and they listen and feel for vibrations. As they get older, then they rely on their sight again. Miss Hadassah and then Miss Kylie have questions here.
What is its favorite thing to eat?
Favorite thing to eat is mice. Miss Kylie?
What is its lifespan?
15 to 20 years is all he'll get. And in that short 15 to 20 years, he can travel a distance of 20 to 30 miles. And Madison, you had a question?
What can eat him?
So these guys often get eaten, unfortunately, by birds. Their enemies are things that fly in the air, and that's kind of interesting because these snakes climb trees very well with their scoots on the bottom. They can climb up a tree and raid a bird's nest and steal their eggs. So it's kind of a give and take with snakes and birds. Kylie has a question.
How big does he get?
About 5 to 6 feet is a very big corn snake. Miss Kylie?
So like when they get big, how will the bird like get it?
Well, it takes a bigger bird to eat a bigger snake, doesn't it? But there are some big hawks or owls that can do that. And they have the talons that can do it. Sir Jackson?
Is it long or high for 5 feet? High or?
Oh, just long. Yeah, he doesn't get much bigger around than an inch or two around. Yeah, he's not big and fat. Yes, Mr. Caden.
Does he get thicker though?
He does get thicker, but they stay very long and slender. So those were some good questions, and I want to know if you guys maybe can say bye to him for a minute. We're going to give him over here to Miss Andrea, and I'll tell you what else he reminds me of. When he becomes a new creature and sheds that old skin, that's just like what Jesus wants for us. And he told us how to do it. He said, if you want to follow me, keep my commandments. And those are the 10 commandments that he gave Moses on top of Mount Sinai. In fact, he gave it to him written in stone with his own finger. And those 10 commandments tell us how to love. Did you know that? Commandments are love. The first 4 commandments are how to love your God, the Lord. The 6 commandments at the end are how to love fellow man and get along with people here on earth. And Jesus designed it that way so that you can get along with both God and man and be a new creature and put away the old habits and the old sinful nature we can shed off. And Jesus has a plan for you. If you're willing to be like that corn snake and shed off your old habits and understand and love the Lord and obey Him, then He has a master plan for you. Not to hide under rocks and under logs, but not to be afraid of the light, but to come right out in the direct light and enjoy the sunshine of Jesus Christ. And let God's sun shine not only on you, but through you. Because if you love the Lord, don't you want to share it? Yes. When we take in love from God, then that's something that we share for others. And by the way, if God wants to show love to someone on earth, the best way He has to do it is through you. Through a smile, through maybe a kind, encouraging word. Every breath we take. Can you take a deep breath and let it out? Did you know that's a gift from God? That breath you just took is a gift, and you can use that gift to praise the Lord, to encourage a friend, to smile at someone, or we could use that breath to say something hurtful or discouraging, couldn't we? And which do you think Jesus prefers?
The good one.
Yes, He wants you to be His hands and feet and to carry His love and share it with everyone. So when you have that, don't hide it under a rock. Come on out and enjoy the sunlight and follow God and His laws. You will have a happy and long life if you do that. And that long life would be eternity with Him. Thanks for coming to Kids Camp. Goodbye.